Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel for another exciting and fun-filled episode on this Passagemaker dinghy build series. We got lots to do, so let's get at it. So yesterday and this morning I've been working on getting these rails cleaned up. If you remember right, they had quite a bit of overhang. I got rid of that overhang, got them smoothed up pretty good. Problem is you can see a couple spots where I've gone through the epoxy. So we're going to have to definitely do a recoat on these guys, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be redoing the whole boat, hopefully in 2 more layers of epoxy. I think would work. Also, I worked a little bit on this fillet over here, so this is looking pretty good. The bottom of the boat here, I'm really looking for it to be mostly smooth and to the point where it's protected, and when I put the primer down, I've got a chance of sanding the primer down to make the whole bottom smooth. So anyways, that's the goal. I am going along. Let me show you a few tricks I've come up with here. Well, at least one, but that I've started to work on these other fillets here. I wanted to do a little bit more work on these guys here. So let me get geared up and we'll show you that. After I do these, I'm going to do all the fillets this way. So it's probably going to take me a couple days, and I don't think you want to see that. But let me show you what I'm doing for one, and then I'll spend a couple days doing all these fillets with this, doing it this way, and then we'll see what's next. Hopefully the weather cooperates with us, and by the time I'm done with the filleting here, we can put the patches back in here. All right, so before I'd been trying to use my my sanding mouse here with this edge. You might be able to see it's got a fairly decent curve that's pretty close to being right for this fillet here, but getting it in the right angle and not taking up material that I didn't want to take up was a problem. Now, I don't remember what channel I saw it on, but I saw some YouTuber using these things here. These are sanding disc type kind of things. This one here is 120. You can get these up from, this is the coarsest you can get is 120. You can get up from here up to, I think, 400. The yellow ones are the 120, and I got a whole box of them. So they are pretty darn handy at doing this work. So I just use my multi-tool here. You can see this one is used a little bit up already. It'll get smaller and smaller as you go along, and then you change it out. So let me get my ears on, and we'll do this this section of the fillet right here and show you how it works. So that one went pretty easily. Not a lot of bumps or anything in there, and it cleaned up pretty good. Like I always do, I go back and wipe it off and then do a feel. I don't know if it'll come out on camera, but there's a couple of spots. Remember, this section here is where we put the fiberglass up to this edge. So we've got a couple of dry spots that when I'm done, I'll go ahead and hit them with just a knife or something to break through, so that when we put another coat of epoxy, hopefully the epoxy will settle in. But yeah, so that's my life for the next couple of days is going along and cleaning up these fillets. I mean, it might be hard to see on camera, but I can definitely tell the difference in the feel between a section that's been done and a section that hasn't been done. So I think it's worth the effort, and that's what I'm going to be doing. All right, then, those little sanding disc wheel things on the rotary tool worked really well on the fillets here. Cleaned them up real nice. Of course, you can see I've got quite a few spots that we got problems with. But anyways, yeah. So for now, the bottom of the boat's sanded to my satisfaction for now. When the weather cools down enough, the boat will be getting 2 more coats of epoxy on the whole bottom, and I want to do that so that it's we'll do a hot 1 coat, 1 thin coat, and then another coat right on top of it as soon as we can, and so we don't have to may have to sand it once more after the 2nd coat of epoxy, but we'll see how that goes. But anyways, for today, it is, let me see if we can show that it's actually 70 degrees in here, so pretty nice. Don't even have the AC on. It is kind of early in the morning, real early, so I think it's time now to go ahead and put the plugs in here for Fix My Mistake. So here's the one that goes on the bottom of the boat, and this is the one that's got the form around it, and then the contraption on top that lets me cinch everything up. And then the other one I got finished yesterday. Now I was thinking I'd only be able to do one at a time because I only have one of these, and I was going to go cut another one of these oversized ones to cinch it up against. But then I realized on the seat that I could actually put clamps on, so I've just got this this with some T-bars and some wing nuts on it holding it on. So I'll put that in from the underneath and then clamp these to the ends down right to the seat. So got everything covered with packing tape and it should be good to go. So the other thing I've done is I've got some 1/4-inch chopped fibers to add in for a little bit extra strength. Of course, I'll be using probably half and half, I think, a cellophil and this chopped fiberglass. I will be using the tropical hardener. I could probably get away with using the regular stuff, but this gives me a little bit more working time. And the only downside is I will have to make sure I de-wax it. But since this is a relatively small area, it shouldn't be that bad. So anyways, let me go ahead and get some of this epoxy mixed up. I'm going to do clear first and then do the edges all around clear and then make the thickened, and then we'll go from there. So let me get you set up and we'll see how this goes. Alright, just got some clear epoxy here that I'll be just going to do these edges with real quick. Just put a light coat on there. Alright, now to make this into some thickened epoxy, I think. Alright, so I got my plug here, and also I've got the thickened epoxy is really, really, really thick. I want to make sure it stays in place. So now all I got to do is smear it in here, which is going to be a mess. The chopped fiberglass that I put in there is make it look a little ragged, but that's all right. We're just looking for some good strength and make sure it stays in place while we work on it. All right, so this we'll be reinforcing these with some fiberglass. Oops, did I save it? Nope. We'll be reinforcing this with some fiberglass and fillets. So this is really just going to help us keep it in place while we work it into place and get it apart. Boy, this stuff is messy.
Yeah, so just want to keep it in place until we get it worked in. Next time I probably should remember to put plastic down underneath here. Probably should. Alright, good. Well, that's mostly sticking up there pretty good. I think we got a good start there. Now let me just do the plug here. Just do this out on the bench. Alright, got this all buttered up. And now we'll see if we can get this back in here without too much of a mess. Geez, I thought I was gonna need tape here, but with that epoxy there, it's pretty darn good. Alright, let me go. So you can see I put duct tape on the heads of the screws, or yeah, the bolts that go through up top. I do have a camera up on top, so hopefully you'll be able to see. We'll be able to get some video of me working on that. But I had planned on putting tape across here to hold it up, but with that epoxy, I got it sitting here anyway, so I might as well use it. But yeah, so I got the bolt heads done here with just tape, and that should be enough to let me tighten it up without having to have somebody underneath here. Alright, good. Before I do that though, I'm going to go ahead and I think I can probably get some of the squeeze out picked up here. I don't have. That helps. Gotta put a light in here to help me out for this particular reason. That's gonna be good enough. Alrighty, now for this bottom piece. Let's see here. Crap.
this front part is just a little bit undersized, so I think if that helps a little. This middle part is sitting just a little bit proud, but we're gonna have to live with it. We'll have to do some sanding here anyway, so I'm sure that'll sand right up nice and flat. If I've learned anything, it's to clean up as much as you can before the epoxy sets up. Better quit messing with it. Problem. Oops. I keep messing with it. I just put a little bit of a fillet around the bottom here because I remember I'm going to be using, when the dagger board chunk probably goes back in, I'm hoping that the height that I left here, I left this proud underneath the seat, will make up for the most of the distance where I've cut out. So anyways, go ahead and we'll leave this alone for a day. Tomorrow I'm hoping that we'll be back out and we'll see that this is fine. It's not going to be cold enough to put in the dagger board trunk for quite a while yet, I don't think. We'll see what the weather looks like. But tomorrow I probably will start varnishing, I think. At least want to start experimenting with how I'm going to varnish. So anyways, we'll pause here and then be back tomorrow. Alrighty then, it's the next day and looks like we're epoxy's all dried up. It's looking pretty good. The cup I used over here, it's kind of you can see. I guess what I'm trying to say is you can see the if you can, that by putting those fibers in there, it really does strengthen up the it really strengthens up that epoxy quite a bit. The way the fibers run, it really makes it a lot stronger. So real happy with that. Let's see if we get underneath here without hurting our heads. Yep. So, all right, so let me get you set up and we'll start taking this apart. Hopefully everything will come off fairly easy, and we can start taking a look and see how that dagger board is going to fit back in there. That made it easier. So this came off pretty good. I forgot to take the screws out. Once I did, they came out pretty good. One of the things they talk about when you're putting two pieces of wood together like this with epoxy is scarfing the joint. And they say that the scarf or that you really shouldn't butt the pieces of wood together, that they should overlap, and that angle that they overlap at should be a 12-to-1 ratio for the thickness. So for instance, this is about a 1/4 inch thick, so the scarf joint should have been about 3 inches wide. Now, I don't, in this case, this is, I think that mostly pertains to an unsupported joint. So in this case, we're going to have the dagger board trunk sitting here with big fillets on either side and fiberglass over the top. So a butt joint that is supported in another way is okay. And I may be doing a little bit of scarfing on the top when I flatten that part out. But for the most part, I think we'll be okay. Like I said, we'll be putting fiberglass on top. We'll have the dagger board trunk here, and we'll be putting a big fillet around the whole thing, and that's both on this side and this side. So I think we're okay.
in case anybody's wondering why I didn't do a scarf joint on that. So this looks pretty good. I think we'll be cleaning that up. It'll take just a little bit of cleanup. It didn't come down as far as I had wanted by about maybe maybe a 30 seconds. But it's still plenty good enough for what we need. And I think we'll be able to work with it pretty good. Let's see about this this bottom part here, or the seat part. Yep, real nice. Just need to clean up this, which I'd have to do anyways. All right, good. Let's just take a quick look here. All right, good deal. I'm pretty happy with that. There's in the back, in this back corner over here, where I was filling in between this bulkhead and the bottom there. I've got a little bit of a glob of epoxy it'll sand down, and then I think this Dagger board trunk will fit pretty darn nice in there. So yep. So real tight, good deal. Yep. So I think that's what I'm going to do today is do some sanding just to clean this up, and then start on the top of this one. Is where I left really proud. So I'm going to have to sand that down quite a bit. Clean this up, maybe touch on this a little bit just to get rid of the ragged edges, and get ready for the next step, which on this will be gluing the Dagger board back in, hopefully the right position. I had thought about doing some varnishing, but the humidity over the next few days, even though the temperature is going to be probably okay, the humidity is going to, over the next 3 or 4 days, it's gonna be just too humid. The varnish would never dry. So I'm going to go ahead and work on cleaning this up and fitting the Dagger board trunk. If we get a spot where the temperature looks good, then we can go ahead and glue the Dagger board trunk in. So I'm going to get set up for that, and we'll see where we end up at. All right, maybe I did have the camera on, so I just got done sanding this down, and the Dagger board trunk fits in pretty good. Still got a little bit of a catch here at the back on the bottom and up the top here. I need to get rid of that lip there, I think. But I think we're looking pretty darn close. Having all kinds of problems with this darn camera this morning. Can't seem to get everything in the picture at the same time and turn it on. All right. Well, I think that's going to work. Got a pretty good gap up here where this plug here I didn't get to come down flat enough. Knew that was going to be a problem, but I think we're still okay, given that we're going to have to fill this in anyways with a fillet. If not, then after that I might even put some fiberglass along both edges on both the top and the bottom here. But that's looking pretty darn good. I
think I just have to do some hand sanding along the sides here to smooth this out. I want to try to make it a nice bevel there. And then we'll have to, when we do this up here, we're gonna have to do some filling of that gap. Yep, so I think I'm just down to some hand sanding now on this. Yep, I'll have to get the string back out and make sure we're exactly in the center this time. And then think about how I'm going to line it up to make sure that we're nice and square in every aspect. All right, good deal. Like I said, I'll go ahead and do some hand sanding here, probably on both the top and the bottom. And then I'll probably hit the top. It's proud. I'll have to lower the boat down, and then I can work on the top a little bit easier. So I'm gonna pause here, keep on sanding, and we'll be back later. All right, then. Not sure how well this is gonna come out, but quite a bit of parallax going on with all the different angles. But I think I got a pretty good fit here, pretty good dry fit for the first go at it. I got the string pulled up here. The other thing I've done is with these holes underneath, I can feel where the sides are and where the front is. So it gives me a little bit better understanding of where everything lines up. The other thing I did was back here, remember when we first installed it, oops, we had the two screws here. So with the original holes, these screws are now sitting in the original holes on the Dagger board trunk. They're not tight or anything, they're just holding it in place, and this part back here was pretty straight and pretty even. So by using those two holes, I know I've got a good reference there. So I think we're looking pretty darn good there for a dry fit. So I'm gonna leave this in place, I think, and then lower the boat down so I can start working on the top and see how that goes. All right, let's see how this works. So I got the belt sander out here and cleaned out the bag. I don't have a vacuum attachment for this darn thing. I wish I did, but haven't found one yet. So got quite a bit of material here to take down. So the only thing to do is to get at it. Since I get my ears on. Just had a thought. I wonder if I got any 40 grit sandpaper. Yep, sure enough. But we're gonna wait until after the yard guys are done mowing and I eat lunch. All right, lunch break is over. Guys are done mostly mowing the yard, and I got some 40 grit sandpaper on the belt sander. So let's give this a shot. Let me vacuum that up first. Alrighty then, doesn't look half bad. I think it's pretty good where it is. Like I said, I'll be probably what I'll do when I get ready to fiberglass it in is put some thickened epoxy down first, put the fiberglass over it, and then probably put I think the fiberglass tape I want to use is 4 inches wide, so I might have to do just a little bit more sanding, but just to scuff it up on the outside here. I'll have to think about that. I might maybe do something crosswise or something. I don't know. We'll think of something. Think it through and how we're going to do it. But like I said, I'll probably put thickened epoxy down first, and then come back and put the fiberglass over that and get it all smoothed out that way. So for now, I think we're at a pretty good stopping point. Let me check the weather once more. Like I said, I think it's going to rain here in the next couple days. And working out here in a rainstorm is like trying to work in a snare drum, inside a snare drum. So let me pause here and we'll see where we're at. All right, yep, so we're supposed to get rain for the next 4 days with temperatures well up in the upper 80s. So I'm not going to be able to do any varnishing. May do some sanding. I may flip the boat over and do some sanding on the inside. So that'll be one of the other things that we got to get done, is put the seats on and the inside, the front and the back seats. Anyways, I probably will be doing minimal recording for the next 4 or 5 days, and then I'm on a trip after that. So it'll probably be 2 or even 3 weeks before the next video. Keep poking away at this, and sooner or later the temperatures will start helping us out a little bit. But for now, I want to say thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Please leave me any comments, questions, suggestions down below. Please tell your friends about me, and please subscribe. Everyone, take care and be good.